Alright, in this video I'm going to go over the Freewell variable filters for the Mavic Air 2. I have the 2-pack, which comes in a 2 to 5 stop and a 6 to 9 stop. But in this video I'm going to go ahead and go over the 2 to 5 stop filter, and these are pretty much used for everyday use in normal to bright and sunny conditions. The second filter is for photos, to get blur in your photos, and not for video. So if you look and I go in the shutter speed for my video, I can only take it to 1/60th, but if I go into photo mode, I can change my shutter up way past all the way to an 8-inch. And that's how we can get cinematic blur in our photos using the second filter that has stops 6 through 9. And that equates to an ND64 to an ND512. Alright, so if you look here, the filters are real easy to put on. You just take off the filter lens that's on the Mavic Air 2 and you go ahead and replace it with the filter almost the same way that you put the propellers on. So to dial it in, all you do is dial it to the right stop. Say if I go to a stop 2, that'll be set for an ND4, and then I can dial it to whichever ones I want. So just knowing this filter, anytime you put that filter on, it gives a little bit of shade to start. So I believe when it's set at the lowest position, it's at a 0, and that's kind of equivalent to an ND2. So whenever you go to a 2, that's equivalent to an ND4, and so on, and it goes up from there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fly in normal, D-Cinelike, HDR, and in the D-Cinelike I'm going to go ahead and try to color grade a little bit, and we'll see what the video differences look like. And I'll explain some things to look out for and why you choose a filter in the first place whenever it's up in the air. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot in normal auto, normal manual, HDR, and D-Cinelike with the filter on and with the filter off, whichever one we determine we need to use. But first I'm going to show you what you're looking for in your blurring effect. So you want your scene to look the way you would with the naked eye, and your eye sees a little bit of blur naturally. So that's why you're setting your shutter speed to twice your frame rate. And there's plenty of videos on that tell you that you need to set your ISO to 100 and have your frame rate. There are plenty of videos out there that tell you to set your ISO at the lowest possible so that you don't get any degradation in the video, and then to go ahead and set your shutter speed to twice your frame rate. So I'm not going to go over the reasons why for that. There's plenty of videos on that. Right now, just know we're shooting at 60 frames per second, and that means we need a shutter speed of 1/120. Okay, there's a couple different ways we can determine what filter we need. The first thing I can do is just tilt it up to the sky and try to get 2/3 of the sky, and it might be a little hard here since I have the trees in the way. And then go to manual and then adjust my shutter speed to where it matches what I had in manual, and I'll just hit that. So it looks like that is brighter on manual, so we'll go down some. Still brighter, we'll go down one more. Seems like it's still a little brighter. We'll go down to 1250. That seems to be almost dead on. So I would need a filter to match ISO 100 and 1/250. So if I go into my Polar Pro app, go to video, and go to my target, I'm going to shoot in 60 frames per second, means I want a 1/120 for shutter speed. My current shutter speed is set at, let's see, 1250, which means we'll be needing an ND8 which the equivalent stops on that variable filter is a stop 3, because remember 2 is an ND4, a 3 is an ND8, a 4 is an ND16, and a 5 is an ND32. So again, we'll want to go to a stop 3 for this ND8. But right now, I just want to see what I got in auto to give me something to compare it with. So I'll go ahead and set everything to auto. I have my video set for 4K 30 or 4K 60. Go ahead and take off. And now just fill the same, and I'll just film the same scene for everything I'm doing. So I'm just going to take it up about 300 feet. Go to normal. Okay, so I have a third of the sky showing, and I have 2/3 of the ground showing, and I'm set for auto, so I'm going ahead and hit record. Alright, so I'll go ahead and start going. Now here's what we want to see. Remember, right now, the equivalent in auto is around 12. Does that look the same? So that does look around the same. It's about 1250. So let's see what it looks like. So in auto, I'm probably around 1250 for shutter speed. And I think it's very windy up there right now. That's why my gimbal's off. And let's go ahead and slowly turn to the right. Well, first I'll tilt down, and I want to see if I'm in auto, if there's a big change in lighting when I go from the ground to the sky. Let's go back up. Let's go a little faster. See how that changed? When you have a filter on, you're not going to get that drastic change in light to dark when you're going from the ground to the sky. So that's one thing that a filter helps when you set it to manual. And another thing should be with blur. So if I were to stay at 2/3 again and slowly start panning to the right, rotate to the right, I'll go slow, and now I'll go a little faster. And just look at the trees and see what kind of blur it looks like. See if it looks natural to you. And then I'll go a little faster. Okay, now I'll go ahead and bring it back. Stop this video. I'm going to go ahead and throw it into manual. Hit record again. Start heading out. So now I'm manually set for 1250. So now my scene will change when I rotate down. But since my shutter speed is set at 1250, I'm not going to see that big change in from light to dark like I did when it was set to auto. So I'll go faster. See that it stays the same. So if you plan on doing any kind of filming from the sky to the ground, you need to have it set to manual. And let's go ahead and pan slowly, and then faster, and then fastest. Okay, so that's good for manual. We'll go ahead and bring it back. Now set it to auto and go to camera D-Cinelike. Turn it back around at auto. Hit record. Going forward. Tilting down. Slowly. Tilting up slowly. Down fast. Up fast. See if we see that big change. And now we'll go ahead and rotate to the right a little. Go a little faster. And then go real fast. Okay, we'll stop that one. Speed it back a little. Now I'll go back to normal. Take it out of D-Cinelike. Nope, leave it in D-Cinelike. and go to manual at 1250 and point in that direction again where we set our filter for. Hit record, go forward, tilt down, tilt up, tilt down faster, tilt up faster. Okay, now I'll pan to the right slowly, rotate a little faster, and then real fast. And again, trying to see what kind of blur we get when it's set to 1250. I'll hit stop. And the last one, I'm going to put this back to normal and switch it over to HDR. But again, HDR changes it to 4K 30. Alright, so in HDR you can't change your ISO or your shutter speed. It does it automatically. So we'll just go ahead and put the filter on that we think we need to have on for all the other tests and do the same thing, use those for HDR. So I'll go ahead and hit record while it's in HDR. We'll go forward. And then we'll pan down slow. And then faster or slower again. And then fast. Oh, not that fast. And up a little faster. So the light doesn't change as much going from light to dark when you're in HDR. So all in all, this thing does a pretty good job in HDR, even if you wanted to film tilting your camera down when you're filming. But when you have it set to normal, you can definitely tell the difference. But let's go ahead and rotate nice and slow. And faster. And the fastest. Okay, that's it. So I'll go ahead and bring it down, put a filter on, and test all that out. I'm going to try to do this in one battery, so I need to make this quick. So I'm going to go ahead and get my 2/3. Let's see what I'm in. I should be in normal. Yep, normal, 4K 60, auto. Tilt my gimbal up towards the horizon. That's good there. I'll hit record. Going straight forward. Tilt down slow. Tilt up back slow again. See the change right there? Show you again a little faster. Now watch when I go up. There you go. And now I'll pan slow to the right. A little faster. And again, try to check out the blur on there. And then even faster. Okay, bring it back. Hit stop. I'll change it to manual mode this time. And I'm at 1/120. And notice if I'm pointing this way, that's what I said before, it's going to be different for whichever direction you're going. So right now, if I fly in this direction and record, I'm blown out. But if I turn this way, the way we were going before, I'm almost perfect. So what I could do, if I wanted to, was set this, if I plan on flying around everywhere, is set to this right here. So I'd have to add a little more filter to it, so add it more towards 4, closer to 5. But then this is going to be a little darker over here, but again, it's easier to bring up the shadows than to take those highlights out. But for this sake, I'm pretending I'm shooting in one scene going this way, so this is kind of the way I want my highlights to be. So let's go ahead and go to D-Cinelike so that we can color grade it. Now hit record, fly straight forward, tilt it down slow, and then up, and then down faster, up faster, and then turn it around. And this is in D-Cinelike, and then a little faster, and fastest. Okay, we'll go to D-Cinelike Auto. Since I'm here, hit record, going forward, tilt it down slow, up slow, down faster, up faster, to the right slow, faster, fastest. Okay, now I don't think that I went into manual mode in regular, so let's do that in manual 120. Take it back again. 26% battery, gotta hurry up. Turn around, hit record. Going forward. Tilting down slow. Tilting up. Up. We'll do it again. And then up faster. And then I'll turn slowly. A little faster. And then fastest. And that's it. So the last one I have to do is HDR. So I'll go ahead, and again HDR throws it down into 4K 30, and I'm still good with my highlights. So I'll go ahead and hit record. Slow. And something tells me this would be the normal thing that I shoot with. Down slow. Up slow. Down faster. Up faster. Slowly pan. Slowly rotate to the right. A little faster. And the fastest. Okay, that's it. I'm going to bring it in 4K 30. We'll cancel. In HDR mode the way it is now with the filter on. So this is the video. And I think this probably looks pretty good, and this might be the way that I would fly out if I didn't want to do any color grading and still wanted a good picture. Let's see what happens when I tilt down. It still looks good. Okay, I'll go ahead and bring it in. Hopefully you see that by setting it to 1/20, you get a better video. You get less variances in light, like when you're tilting the camera down. Hopefully you get the correct amount of motion blur whenever you're panning. Hopefully the trees look a little more normal when you're panning. If not, go back and look at that and go ahead and see that at the different values did that change. It's supposed to be when it's set for twice the frame rate that you get the smoothest look to the naked eye. So hopefully that 120 did it. Alright, that's it. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Give me a like if you liked the video, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.